Hi there. You've heard me talk a lot about how it's important to create habits and routines so that we incorporate great things like drinking plenty of water, getting plenty of sleep, moving our bodies daily into our lives. But today I have a little something different I want to talk to you about. It's also important to change things up regularly. We're going to talk about how to keep learning new things today and why that's important. So, welcome. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And, I'm curious, when did you last enjoy learning something new? Tell us about it. I'd love to hear the new things that you're learning, and it might be inspiring to others and to me as well to learn something that you're learning as well. So, I'm Diane LaFoon, and I'm here with your Joy Tip of the Week. And, I've been learning more and more about the human brain. And the more I learn, the more I am in complete awe of the brain. And I found recently that sticking to the same schedule, the same routine, it may actually hinder our brain's ability to build skills and knowledge. I remember I've a couple of times in my life where I've had periods of having to drive a long commute. And I remember, sometimes when you have that over an hour commute home from work or to work or whatever, you get into this zone and you just don't even remember where you're driving. And that's not good. So I really recommend changing up things like your route you take to drop off the kids at school, or maybe you have the same lunch every day at the same time with the same people, or maybe it's a habit like scrolling through social media at the same time every day. Whatever those habits are, I really want to encourage you to change up your environment and your daily experiences, your daily movements. Take a different route to drop off the kids. Maybe set your phone aside and not scroll through social media for a day or two. Or maybe take the opportunity to go to a new place for lunch sometime with a friend. It's just important to change things up because that actually kind of helps our brain to learn new things and create new pathways. So why is it important to learn new things? Well, first, all you have to do is Google. There's ample research out there that shows that learning helps build neuron connections in our brains. And these new neuron connections, these new neural pathways, actually help to stave off certain diseases, which we all want to stave off disease, don't we? So you want to learn new things to help your brain. It's just like an exercise to stave off those diseases. The part of the brain that is linked to learning and the memory parts is also known as the novelty center. So it actually lights up and starts firing when it's exposed to something new. They have studies that show through MRIs when people see something new or exposed to a new thing, that part of your brain just starts firing off and gets excited, and the pathways start activating. And so you want to do that to get your brain fired up. And then next, when you learn something new, you experience a rush of dopamine. Dopamine is actually something that your body makes, it creates, and then your nervous system uses it to send messages between cells. And so dopamine plays a big role in how we feel pleasure. It's a part of our uniquely human ability to learn and to think and to plan. And what dopamine does is it helps us to strive, to focus, to find things interesting. And so when you are learning new things, your brain's firing up that dopamine too, which is a great thing. Learning new things is very empowering. It gives you the information you need to help you make better informed decisions in your life. We all want to make well-informed decisions. So when you learn new things, you've got things backed up in your system here that will help you to make better informed decisions as you move forward. The more you practice learning, the stronger your neural pathways become, and it will become easier and faster to learn new things. So the more you learn new things, the more often you can, learn new things quickly and faster and more easily. You'll learn how to learn, basically. Learning new things can trigger ideas in other areas of your life and actually fuel your creativity. So if you're stuck in something, whether it's work or home or something that you're doing, try learning something totally new and see if that gets you unstuck in your creativity, because it will get those neurons firing in your brain and will help to get things and ideas and creations flowing in other areas. Learning actually builds your self-esteem. Why not? When you know more, you learn more, you feel better about yourself for sure. And then finally, learning gives you more to talk about with others, and it can increase your sphere of influence. We talk a lot here about how you've got a story to tell. You have a group of people that you need to influence. And so when you're learning new things, you have more to talk about with your sphere of influence. So how can you learn something new right now, today? I would really encourage you to commit to a specific amount of time on a regular basis, whether it's 5 minutes a day, 30 minutes a week, 15 minutes, 3 days a week, whatever it is. Find a time frame that you commit to learning something new and write it on your calendar, mark it down, and make it an appointment with yourself so that you keep to that appointment and that you actually do that. And here are a few suggestions to try learning something new. There are a ton of apps out there. If you go to your app store on your phone and you type in cognitive learning or cognitive games or brain exercises, anything like that, you'll find things like Lumosity, which is a good one. Happify is another app that you can use to learn new things. And FitBrain is another one that is a good one to learn new things. Secondly, watch a TED Talk. What's a TED Talk? There's so many people that talks about these TED Talks. What is a TED Talk? Well, a TED Talk began in 1984, quite a while ago. And originally it was a conference where technology, entertainment, and design kind of converged, hence TED. So technology, entertainment, and design. And they, just talked about these different areas and how they come together and converge. And now TED Talks cover all kinds of topics, a plethora of topics, anything from science to business to global issues. You can find something in a TED Talk where you'll actually be learning new things. So there's lots of TED Talks on YouTube. I believe there's a website that's dedicated to it as well. Third idea for you, take an online course. There's tons of online courses out there, whether it's through Skillshare, Udemy, Teachable, Lynda. There are tons of courses available for you. Some of them free, some of them you have to pay for, but sometimes if you don't pay for it, you don't commit to it. So I would encourage you, find a course online to take and learn something new that way, a new skill, a new practice, a new hobby, even something to incorporate into your work that would benefit your work. Learn something new. So the fourth way to learn new things, simply change up your day. Change your environment, go to a new place, find a new distraction. Is there somewhere that is within an hour's drive of you that you've never been? Go there, check it out, and see new things, get that brain activated, and learning new things, seeing new things, that novelty center firing up so that you are more able to be creative and fueled and full of that dopamine as well. So finally, what does help stick, keep that learning something new? What does that make it stick? How does it stick? How do you keep from moving on and forgetting the new thing that you just learned? Well, I believe that you have to do something with what you just learned. So it's terrific to learn new things, but if we just learn it and then just move on to learning something else, it's not going to really stick with you. So use what you learn. And, one of the things that I learned just recently is that we are bombarded, we know this, with information, tons of information every single day. In fact, one statistic I read said that we consume about 75 gigabytes of data each day as humans here in the US anyway. And that would be like the equivalent of consuming 75 pickup truck loads full of paper every day. Can you imagine reading through that much paper? So we're bombarded with all this information. And the way to kind of sieve through that information and let that learning stick is to use what you've learned. Do something with it right away. So one of the best ways you can use what you've learned right away, share it with someone else. Teach someone else. Maybe even share it at the dinner table with your loved ones, or post on social media about what you've just learned and explain it to somebody else, or encourage someone by teaching them how to do what you've just learned. Maybe you even want to start a blog and write about what you're learning and the new things that you're learning. You may find, who knows, that you end up inspiring other people to learn new things too. So again, always keep on learning. There are so many reasons why to keep on learning. Change things up and then do something with what you've learned by sharing it with somebody else or teaching it to somebody else. So what have I learned recently? I've been learning about having better connections with people, with my family and with my friends via text messaging. I know, kind of weird, right? But that's what I've been learning about. And so I'm trying to use better conversations in text messaging and connect better with people that way. And I'd love to connect with you by text. If you're enjoying this Joy Tip of the Week each week and you would like a text notification that we're going live and that we're about to be live, I'd love to text you and text with you. All you need to do is text the word Joy Tip to this number. My number is 989-244-8448. So text Joy Tip to this number and I'd have a conversation with you. And I'd also be sure and let you know each time we go live on Tuesdays at noon Eastern time with our Joy Tip of the Week. Well, thanks for watching. Guess what? I'm off to attend an online workshop right now because I want to learn something new. So we'll see you next week, and thanks again for joining me. Bye-bye.